What's up guys, welcome back to Chelsea Explained, and I hope you are doing amazing as usually. And Chelsea is targeting, of course, every single player there is out there in the transfer market, and we're gonna talk about more players today. We know that we need to strengthen maybe our wing positions, maybe our striker position, and maybe some other areas. We're also securing signings for the future, and some of these guys is getting loan moves to Strasbourg. So I will go through all the stories around it, and before we continue any further, as usually, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page, and hit that notification bell down below. And the first story is coming from the journalist Rudy Galletti. Chelsea are increasing their pressure on the Dortmund attacker Karim Adeyemi. Constant contacts with the entourage of the Borussia Dortmund winger, now at the top of Chelsea's list as their main target. Developments expected soon. Interesting that the coming out stories that we are interested in wingers that are right-footed, but Adeyemi is left-footed, so how does that even make sense? And he is a left-footed player that operates on the left-hand side. We want a right-footed winger that's gonna cut in. Well, he isn't really that player that can then cut in and shoot with his right foot, so I don't really understand. What do I think of this transfer in Adeyemi? He had his breakout season for Salzburg, Dortmund purchased him, and he has been okay. He has been alright. He hasn't lit up the Bundesliga with fire. He hasn't been one of Dortmund's best players this season. He has been having sort of average rating there. Hasn't contributed that much in the final third. And I don't really know what we see in Adeyemi, except that he's a very pacey forward. He can be a winger. He can be someone that plays up front. How the touchlines take on plays 1 versus 1. A very dangerous players on the transition. Maresca wants to play a heavily patient possession-based style of football. Is Karim Adeyemi someone that's gonna suit that? Personally, I don't think so. Now, his price value is around 25 million, and it's not too expensive, but we can't just sign players because they're cheap. It also, in my opinion, have to make sense. And I want players to fit Enzo Maresca. Maybe this is a player he wants. I don't know. But I don't think it really suits the profile in the winger we are looking for. So I don't really know where this story is coming from. Maybe Adeyemi has had a poor season at Dortmund because different reasons. Maybe doesn't suit the football there. Maybe he is in the wrong environment, and maybe doesn't have the chemistry with the players he is playing with. Maybe Enzo Maresca could get something out of this guy that we are yet to see. But then I would rather, instead of gambling on Adeyemi, I would rather then continue with maybe Sterling one more season, because we need to keep a few senior players too. And I also think Sterling could revamp his career a little bit under Enzo Maresca, because I think it's going to suit his style of football. And let's not forget we have Mihailo Mudryk as well. Had a promising Euro. We have seen moments of Mudryk's brilliance. Of course, he hasn't been as consistent. We purchased this guy for expensive money. So personally, I would just keep Mudryk on Sterling unless we're gonna offload one of them. But then I would rather go in for an elite winger, one of the top young wingers that is there out, like a Nico Williams from Athletic Club in La Liga. But that transfer is unlikely. Instead of rushing things, I would rather be patient, because next summer you best believe they're gonna pop out new wingers. It's better to be patient and go for signings that you actually need, instead of doing this scattergun approach and buying players left, right and center and then just see who will turn out to be good. I don't think that is a sustainable transfer strategy. And the next winger we're gonna discuss a little bit about is a winger we had talked about before. And this is coming from Leonas Costas. Desiree Dou from Rennes is a top priority for both Chelsea and Tottenham, who have already held talks with the players' camp as well as Rennes. Negotiations are still ongoing between the Prem Giants and the teenage stations as well as his club. So we facing them competition from Tottenham. We know this story has been going around for French journalists and some other guys for a couple of weeks now. I talked about him for a couple of weeks, and Desiree Dou is one of the most promising attacking outlets in League One. I think he's going to become a serious player, and he's so versatile. He can play on both wings as a cam, he can play as an 8, and I think he's a very smart guy that understands tactics really well, instructions. He's press resistant, good in possession. Signing him, does this mean Sterling goes? But is he gonna be the starter? Is Mudryk gonna be the starter? Because it's gonna be very difficult to getting rid of Raheem Sterling because of his high wages. The only clubs that could potentially go in for him is a Saudi club, unless he's willing to cut his wages a little bit and we can sell him to maybe another team in England, because he's someone that has advocated that he wants to stay in Premier League. Someone that could probably play in the half spaces too, like one of the 10s, where I believe Dewsbury Hall will operate in. But it's two interesting players. Like, I'm not trying to talk down on them. I just see them as maybe a little bit riskful. I think Desiree Dou will be less risky. I would prefer going in for elite wingers, as you know, but that's not gonna happen unless we really feel like this is a player that Enzo Maresca definitely needs. Then I would just pass and be a bit more patient. Stick with Sterling, stick with Mudryk. We can try and Kunk out on the left wing if we want to. We can even try and give some of the academy guys a chance out there in a cup game and see how it goes, or in pre-season. They are literally there for free, and we got plenty of talents in our academy. But let me know, of course, as I said, let me know your thoughts on Adeyemi, and let me know around Desiree Dou. Which one of them would you bring in to Chelsea? Last story we're gonna discuss around is a report coming from Tom Bogert, and it's a player from USA that plays as a wingback for Atlanta United. Chelsea are progressing in talks with Atlanta United to sign left back Caleb Wiley. More like a wingback in my opinion, but he can play across all the left hand side. The plan is to go on loan to Strasbourg. The deal is potentially around £7.8 million. Not done yet, but looking optimistic. That could be a great signing, but he's a wingback that wants to bomb forward, take on players, wants to make overlaps, underlaps. He can contribute with assist. He's had a very promising season in MLS so far. And the price is really cheap in my opinion. There's no risk in it. But we're not going to utilize wingbacks or an offensive left back that's going to bomb up. We're going to use an inverted fullback. So is this just a player we're buying to maybe try out as a left winger late in the future? Or is it just to, from a financial point of view, where we're signing him cheap, then he plays, gets regular game time at Strasbourg on loan, and then he comes back to Chelsea and we're selling him for the double amount of money? Honestly, I only see the signing from a business point of view. In regular game time, almost every single game for Atlanta, he's performing well, looking promising. That's all around the latest updates from today. Who would you pick between Adeyemi and Desiree Dou? Let me know that. And how do you feel around that Chelsea signing potentially the Atlanta wingback Caleb Wiley to Strasbourg? Or they're gonna loan him out to Strasbourg? Let me know all your thoughts and I'll happily read that. Thank you so much for watching. See you for more videos coming out this week, and I'm out. Peace.